An NBA team's uniform can represent any number of things. The history of a region, the history of a franchise, or the history of the movies that a franchise's fans like. To Nike, though, it currently represents hundreds of millions of dollars in business, and to the NBA too. It used to be that a team had a home and away jersey, and maybe an alternate. Now there's seemingly an endless amount of uniform designs to sort through every year. But that did not start with Nike. Just take a look at the timeline of the companies that have supplied the NBA with their uniforms. First, there was McGregor-Sandknit, a company you've likely never even heard of unless you've gone to eBay to buy an authentic James Worthy jersey, or one of MJ's practice uniforms from back when
Robin was a piston, Mike was losing to Isaiah, but he soon would get his 6-1.
But what Jay and I left out was that McGregor-Sandknit was the NBA's first ever exclusive uniform supplier. In fact, they were the first company to ever exclusively provide uniforms for a top North American sports league. After the company went belly up, Champion came in. Fun fact, they invented the hoodie. Even more fun fact, they locked down an exclusive uniform supplier deal with the NBA in the early 90s that ushered in an explosion in the replica jersey sales market. Still fits. This is where things get a little more complicated. As more and more companies wanted a piece of the pie, the NBA was happy to oblige, slicing jersey suppliers across multiple brands. At one point, Puma, Nike, Champion were all providing on-court uniforms for different sets of teams. Eventually, the game of jersey musical chairs came to an end in 2004. And that was when Reebok signed a league-wide deal that extended to both authentic and replica. Adidas bought up the Bach, signed a new exclusive deal with the NBA, put sleeves on NBA jerseys. Then LeBron ripped those sleeves off. And finally, Nike swooped in 2017, locking up a new apparel deal with the league worth a reported $1 billion. So if you spent $1 billion and plan to get it all back, and then some, what would you do? Make more jerseys. Having learned from world football, a world in which clubs change their entire uniform sets each and every year, this makes you a lot of money. Yeah, so Nike saw this going on and realized that they could cash in. NBA teams now have an association jersey, an icon jersey, a classic jersey, a statement jersey that features the Jordan brand logo, and a city edition jersey. Oh, and don't forget the earned jerseys that Nike gives to teams that made the playoffs the previous season. That's a lot of looks for you to feel good in.
You still feel like the greatest version of you
Right.
when you have those Nikes on.
While Nike plays around with the designs of alternate jerseys, some teams' base uniforms are treated as sacred and hardly ever change, apart from a few minor tweaks here and there. However, some teams continue to evolve their look, and in some cases, just straight up rebrand. The Raptors are one such team, which is why the retro section on Real Sports continues to grow. They went from the large pinstriped era of the 90s to the more subtle Raptorless purple era most fans associate with Vince, something that gradually evolved into red being the team's primary color, when camo wasn't being used, of course, all before rotating the chevron to the north position and entirely altering the typeface to something a bit more modern. The franchise win their first ever NBA title in a chevron emblazoned jersey seems to have made an impact. As pun fully intended, the team earned a new look in 2020 with the chevron that points up to the north, now the main feature of the design. Whether or not you're a fan of the team's current design, I hope this video taught you that you're just one click away from a sweet Champion branded retro jersey. May I suggest the greatest Raptor in franchise history? The first Raptor in franchise history?
Damon Stoudemire!
I'm on TV, get out of my room. What he meant to say was the real Vince, as in Vincenzo Esposito, the first ever player the Raptors signed. You better hit buy it now on that before I do.